Are you ready for the King of the Ice? Pete's Power Plays with Philly Pete starts now on 12 Ounce Sports.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Wednesday, January 6th, 2021 episode of Pete's Power Plays, hosted by the one, the only, King of the Ice himself, Philly Pete, and we're live on 12 Ounce Sports and Zingo TV, channel 761. I hope everyone's having a phenomenal Wednesday so far. Middle of the week, we are smelling Friday and the weekend as we can imagine right now. So we're ready to rock and roll. First week of the new year. Already halfway through the first week. It's crazy. It is crazy. It is crazy. And hey, and on that note, ladies and gentlemen, the NHL is also 1 week away to puck drop between the Philadelphia Flyers and the Pittsburgh Penguins. January 13th, we are 1 week away from opening night. I cannot wait. I know every one of you out there cannot wait either. Simple as that. But without further ado, Pete's Power Plays is sponsored by mybookie.ag. Sports are back, ladies and gentlemen, and on top of that, NHL starts next week, like I mentioned already. When doing so, mybookie.ag, start cashing out large today by going to mybookie.ag. Use the promo code 12Ounce Sports. That's 12OZ Sports, all caps, no spaces. Once again, mybookie.ag. Use the promo code 12Ounce Sports, 12OZ Sports, all caps, no spaces when signing up for an account today. And make sure to use the promo code, again, 12Ounce Sports. They'll match your first deposit up to $1,000. And also remember to gamble responsibly. Once again, that's mybookie.ag. Also, Zingo TV, channel 761. Ladies and gentlemen out there that are tuning in right now from Zingo TV, welcome aboard to Wednesday's episode of Pete's Power Plays. Glad you all are a part of this episode for today. Glad, you could be doing anything else in the world right now, but you are here with Philly Pete today, and I love it. I love that from each and every one of you. Zingo TV, channel 761. It is a free app, Zingo. Download it now. It's on every free streaming device out there that you can even imagine. Download the app. It's free, like I said. Use the promo code 12Ounce, 12OZ. Flip over to channel 761, and here you are. You're going to be hearing none other than Philly Pete right now. Simple as that. So there you have it. Zingo TV, channel 761. Also, next Wednesday, I'm going to go live with my video. You'll be seeing me full-fledged, opening night of NHL. You're going to be seeing my for Pete's Power Plays next Wednesday. You will be seeing my face. I'm going to go full video with this. I'm going to be changing my background and everything. I also have a banner for my background as well. So you guys will be seeing me in full-fledged. What I actually look like, I can't wait. Let's get rocking and rolling here. And last but not least, Amazon. Go to www.12ouncesportsradio.com/Amazon. Buy something nice today, and it's the gift of giving. What can I say? So once again, www.12ouncesportsradio.com/Amazon. So ladies and gentlemen, I am back. Hell of a show yesterday, and I'm going to even start out with a hell of a show today as well. I'm going to go over some updated trends and bets that I like going into next week. The earlier the better line, the better value for each and every one of you out there. So I want to go ahead and talk about that. Over and unders haven't changed. I can tell you that right now. Money line values have changed a little bit for these games. I did mention yesterday that the two TBD games between Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver, and Edmonton are now 7 o'clock for Toronto and Montreal, and then the nightcap 10 o'clock, Vancouver and Edmonton. So there you have it. I'm also going to talk NHL selling the name rights to the 4 divisions, of course, and then some updated news and rumors that I didn't get to yesterday that I will give you guys now, and let's get into it. I know we're ready to rock and roll. So now, when I'm talking about updated news, all right, there's some information here. Again, Matthew Barzal is still on the opening day roster for the Islanders. I really think at the end of the day here, he's going to sign with them. I think Line State's put in Winnipeg. I know I mentioned that yesterday as well. Mike Hoffman. Mike Hoffman obviously is another name out there that everyone's going to try and get after. But like I said yesterday, I'll say it again. I think he is going to be an acquisition for the Boston Bruins. All right, that is my guess. That is my absolute guess for where he goes. And listen, I know NHL starts a week away. Everyone's freaking out about these players. Listen, players are not going to sign until a day or two before the season starts. Simple as that. Let's be honest here. That's just how it goes in the NHL sometimes, and every other sport. But I know I talked about Ovechkin as well. That his lifetime contract is expiring after this season, but for some reason, I just feel like he's going to stay put in Washington. I can't see him going anywhere else besides the Caps. But again, you never know. We never know. So injuries, another NHL training camp tidbits that I want to get into. It just seems like the Dallas Stars might stumble to a least start this upcoming season. It's already clear that Tyler Seguin and Ben Bishop could miss months of the regular season, but it's okay because of course Anton Khudobin. It's gonna be rough because you fear to wonder how much training camp time Khudobin and Joe Pavelski are going to get. Now, a lot of speculation here. Khudobin will be absent from the start of training camp due to immigration issues. The team obviously will announce his availability to return to practice at the appropriate time. This is a big deal for him. What's going to happen now? Ben Bishop's out. Khudobin, I'm hoping could be all right for the start of practice, but these immigration issues, man, with the whole COVID situation going on, it's tough. It's going to be tough to get back to reality. And I really hope for Khudobin and the Stars' sake that, they get this fixed up and they get this fixed up immediately. And they got to wait for the appropriate time. So, season starts in a week, and hopefully he's back there soon enough. Absolutely, they need him. They need him in order to contend this year. Joe Pavelski will not participate on ice. This was also the other day to day, pending further results from medicals. So another injury related for the Stars. This is going to be tough. This is not the start of the season that Dallas Stars fans have anticipated for. But again, I'm sure everyone will be okay. I'm sure Pavelski will be fine. But pending further results from medicals. So we will see what happens with Pavelski. He's a key component to that Dallas Stars offense. And, of course, Khudobin with the immigration issues. I hope everything works out for Dallas. But moving ahead, while the Bruins aren't as hampered, I should say, as the Stars, they're still in for a tough start. Now, beyond shaking off losses of Torrey Krug and Zdeno Chara, obviously Krug to the Blues, Chara to the Caps, both Brad Marchand and David Pastrnak, as I mentioned this time and time again, underwent all-season surgeries. And while Pastrnak looks likely to miss the start of the season, Marchand told reporters, including Emily Benjamin, that he hopes to be ready for the Bruins opener. Now, I thought Marchand's going to be out for at least a week, maybe two, but it appears like he's ahead of schedule, and he should be ready, hopefully ready for the opener. But it sounds like 41-year-old Joe Thornton is basically lining up with Mitch Marner and Austin Matthews this season. That's going to be huge. A lot of energy going there. You have to give props to Joe Thornton for what he's done in his career. Boston, San Jose, and now the Toronto Maple Leafs, excuse me. So it's like he feels young again. I would feel young again. If I was 41 playing with these young kids, you should feel young again. It'll make you feel better. Obviously you're not going to be as fast as them, but you're going to be elusive. You're going to be efficient. You're going to be consistent with these young guys. That's a really good spot there for Joe Thornton. Kasperi Kapanen must wait to get acquainted with the Penguins. He's held up via visa issues, so that's going to be an issue there. Steven Stamkos began as a right winger on a line with Braden Point and Palat, but with Kucherov out long term, now the Tampa Bay Lightning must be heartened to learn that Stamkos expects to be ready for the season. That is huge. Stamkos needs to plug and play with Kucherov while he's away and just start. We need a healthy season in order for. Obviously we know Tampa is just absolutely loaded, but they expect Stamkos to be ready for this upcoming season, and by all means, that one game that he came back just proved how good this Tampa Bay Lightning is. He came back, he was elusive, he was efficient, he was consistent. What can I say? He did what he did for the Tampa Bay Lightning in that one game that he came back, and it just showed. It showed to the rest of the team, how he put a fire under Tampa Bay big time when he came back, and you could obviously see that. Nolan Patrick and the Flyers, so far so good. He's looking good. Can't complain about that. So there you have it for the updated news, trade rumors, and other speculation from now. Now, I want to get into basically NHL selling the name rights to 4 new divisions here. Now, the National Hockey League sold naming rights to its 4 divisions for the first time in its history. And the league announced Tuesday that its teams will play in the Scotia NHL North Division, the Honda NHL West Division, the Discover NHL Central Division, and the Mass Mutual NHL East Division during this upcoming season, obviously 56 games that starts next Wednesday. So again, Scotia North, Honda West, Discover Central, and Mass Mutual in the East. Now, the NHL source told ESPN here that selling the name rights to its divisions is viewed internally as a 1-year campaign. These divisions are new for this season, obviously, as the NHL realigned its teams because of COVID, travel concerns, and restrictions, particularly at the U.S.-Canadian border. All the league's Canadian teams are grouped into the North Division for this season. It's expected that the NHL will return to traditional division setups next season in 2021-2022. Now, this is the second major sponsorship move for the NHL this season. The league previously announced that for the first time, it will allow advertisements on their helmets, like I mentioned on yesterday's show. As of Tuesday, 13 teams have announced their helmet sponsors, again, that I mentioned yesterday, and who they are representing on their helmets this year. And of course, the majority also holds teams' arena naming rights. Okay, so like I said, don't be surprised if the Flyers have Wells Fargo on their helmets this year. The NHL has faced massive revenue shortfalls in the past year because of COVID. As a long reliant on ticket sales as its major revenue driver, the NHL played its entire 2020 postseason, obviously without fans, and will open the regular season to either empty buildings or limited capacity fans in their arenas. And like I said, I mentioned on this show last week, 2 weeks ago, even longer than that, how Dallas Stars were kind of like a test dummy for bringing back fans for this upcoming season, and it worked out. You saw plenty of fans in that arena when Dallas was in the Stanley Cup. So there you have it. On that note, I want to take a quick commercial break, be back in 2, and I will talk about the upcoming trends and bets for opening night. Stay tuned, guys and ladies.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
At Amazon, we're pretty good at getting things done. We're pretty good at solving problems. COVID-19 is the biggest challenge we've had to face. But challenges are what motivate us. Like flying masks to our employees around the world. We're doing everything we can to get you what you need, and doing everything we can to keep our people safe. I'm former Navy pilot Sarah Rhodes, and I'm proud to lead our Amazon Air network.
And ladies and gentlemen, I am back. Thank you for hanging tight. This is the Wednesday, January 6, 2021 episode of Pete's Power Plays, hosted by the one, the only, the king of the ice himself, Philly Pete. And we're live on 12 Ounce Sports and Zingo, Zingo, channel 761. I hope you all are tuning in right now. Welcome aboard on this Wednesday afternoon. What can I say? We are back with the NHL 1 week away. And listen, this is fantastic news. And listen, more and more of you are signing up, okay? I did give everyone a huge discount of the month of December, okay? $250 for the entire season. That included not only DFS, NFL DFS, playoff DFS, NHL playoffs, my cup futures, over-under futures, and my season. Like I said, you have a whole bundle in one for the price of $250. Now, instead of doing what I was going to do and raise it back up to $500, I'm giving everybody, this is how it's going to be. It's a shortened season. I'm giving back for the price of $350. That's all I'm asking for. That is it. $350, you're going to get the NHL season, NHL playoffs, my cup futures, my over-under futures, and my NFL daily fantasy football lineups for the playoffs, which has been crushing it. Clients are cashing in large. My casual clients cash in large. My competitive clients hitting basically almost six figures. It's unbelievable how much of a run they've had. I think one client almost hit $1 million this season after going through my lineup. So again, that just proves to you time and time again, him and his wife are going out to Italy for when they could eventually get back into flying. But his tickets are all set. He actually DM'd me the other day about it. I said, this is awesome news. I'm glad I could do that for you. So again, for the price of $350, you're going to get my NHL season package, NHL playoff package, my cup futures, my over-under futures, and of course my NFL playoff DFS lineups for FanDuel and DraftKings, all for the price of $350. Everyone has been taking advantage of this in the month of December. They did. Again, I'm up to 150 clients as we speak, and I am on the rise. So again, thank you for taking advantage of this. Okay, it's my gift of giving back to you, each and every one of you out there. So if you want to be a part of this, you can reach out to me at The Real Pete Tooch. If you search up Philly Pete, I'm one of the first guys there. You can't miss me. I got my logo and everything. So DM me. Okay, I had about 5 of you reach out to me this morning. I will get to you all later on after the show. Also, my apparel has dropped. It is on my pinned tweet. If you want to see it, go to that link that I have on there as well. Buy some Philly Pete apparel for Pete's Power Plays. They are hot commodities right now. This and that, I'm telling you right now. So be a part of Philly Pete right now. And what better way to start cashing large than being with the king of the ice himself, Philly Pete. And of course, this is Pete's Power Plays. So last segment of the show, last 12 minutes I have with you all. Updated odds here. So like I said, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh. Over-under was set at 6 here. Like I said, I still love the over. I like the over 6 here. This is also a 5:30 puck drop in the East. Philly opened up at minus 135 on the money line. They are now minus 125 on the money line. So I'm still rocking out with the Flyers here. I do like the over 6. I think this is going to be a great opening night match. The Broad Street Bullies against those pesky Penguins. Philly minus 125 on the money line. I really like that. I really do. I'm not trying to be biased, but I'm going to be biased today. So over 6, again, I'm sticking with the over 6. The Flyers dropped a little bit, not much, but I still like the Flyers to win this opening game against the Pittsburgh Penguins here. You also have to look at the fact that how hot the Flyers have been playing during the course of the entire season until it stopped, and then going into the bubble where, they were the hottest team going from the start, when we had fans, and then it halted, and then the start of the bubble where they were the 1 seed. They knocked out Tampa, Boston. Okay, they knocked out those top 3, Washington, those top 3 teams to get that number 1 spot. They might have lost a lot of mojo because they basically blew their load against those 3 teams to get the number 1 seed. They barely squeaked out against Montreal, and like I said, and they just got shellacked by the Islanders. Simple as that. But the product of this is that the Flyers are just playing so much more hockey. They're playing better. They played better hockey, and Pittsburgh got shellacked by Montreal in the first round. I mean, who can remember that one? We all do. Montreal was just a better team. They are a pesky team. But at the end of the day here, I just think the Flyers' young core that they have is just so much better than Pittsburgh right now. I mean, how much more can Malkin and Crosby take at their ages? 32, 33 years old. I mean, they're getting up there. They are getting up there. They're not as dominant as they used to be. And honestly, I mean, this is just going to be a great barn burner of a match, of a game. Simple as that. You could definitely see a 3-3 overtime game. I'd be okay with that. That'd be a great opening night, first game, outcome. Flyers win 4-3 in overtime. How awesome would that be? But like I said, I'm going to stick with this. I'm going to go Flyers money line at -125 over 6. This is for now. Again, subject to change because I will talk about this obviously next Wednesday when I go live with video and you guys can see me full front and center. There's another thing in the works, possibly that night, so stay tuned to that. A possible streaming of a game and having you all come in as guests. We'll see what happens. But that is still questionable, but we're trying to work on that. But again, I like the Flyers and the over in this game. Montreal and Toronto, the over-under was at 6.5. It moved to 6. Those that listened to me last week, I said just better be careful for the change to go back down to 6. 6.5. I got the under at 6.5, okay? So now you have 6. I told you, it's going to move by the day. Toronto opened at -150. Now they're down to 140. I really do like Montreal here as a +120 upset. I do. Again, I have a future for Montreal. I really like this team. I expect them to do some damage during the season. Another postseason run. I really do. I like this. And I like what they did in the offseason. They brought in Tyler Toffoli as a big addition to this team. So Montreal at +120 on the money line. I am digging it. I am on that. And I think I'm going to stick on this even until next week when I talk to you guys. So give me Montreal +120 on the money line. I like that. And listen, the over-under was at 6.5. And listen, I took the under 6.5. I took it before it moved. Now it's at 6. So there you have it. If I'm looking at this now and I'm saying over/under at 6, I still like the under, but 6.5 you're more comfortable with. You really are. But at 6, expect a push. All right, maybe a 4-2 Montreal win. That'd be nice. That'd be awesome. But under 6.5, I really like the under still. But Montreal +120 on the money line might be a pretty big, maybe a 2-unit play there when I'm looking into this. But I do like Montreal and the under 6.5 right there as they play Toronto at 7 o'clock on next Wednesday. Chicago and Tampa, again, this is another game where I don't expect Chicago to do much. Tays, he's still questionable. You have no Crawford. This team is in shambles. Tampa Bay opening up at -240, went up to 240, -245 on the money line. That is insane. If I'm you guys and ladies that like to parlay, I honestly would put this team in a parlay. Tampa, put them in a parlay with Philly, or even Montreal +1.5. If you're a puck line better, I do put up puck line bets as well. But Montreal +1.5 and Tampa on the money line, that seems like a good parlay to me. So you're probably going to get a +130, +140 sort of odds there. I gotta work that out, but like I said, next Wednesday you'll get the full advantage of me. But this is still just an early guesstimates of what I feel. This is my leans. This is just early trends that I've been liking after last week talking about this. So again, Tampa -245 on the money line. That's insane. Over/under still at 6. I do still like the over. Tampa has been one of the hottest teams last season in terms of scoring. You got Stamkos coming back. I know losing Kucherov for a little while is going to hurt that production, but this team is still loaded, ladies and gentlemen. And you have to expect this Tampa team to put up some damage. I like the first period over 1.5 as well for this Tampa game. Tampa has been a good first period over team in the last few years. They've been good. And, of course, with that offense, you kind of have to. So, I like the first period over here. I'll get into first period overs as well next week when I talk more about this and give you my full card. But again, first look here, Tampa over first period. I also, again, parlay Montreal +1.5 with the Tampa money line. If you're crazy and you want to put down 100 on the money line for Tampa, you're absolutely insane. You're losing 245 to win $100. I'm not a fan of that at all. I really hate juiced up teams on the money line unless if you're parlaying. That's it. You have to get a little bit of value out there. But I like the over 6 still. I like the over first period. And Tampa, of course, if you want to play it safe, the -1.5 on the puck line, even the -1 on the puck line, I really like that as well. Chicago is just going to be depleted, I feel, And Tampa should just take full advantage of this because, again, and also Chicago has no goaltending. What do you expect, Delia to come by in net? Subban in net? I mean, it's not a Corey Crawford. So I'm all in with Tampa here. But again, if you're going to juice that money line, make sure you parlay it. Vancouver and Edmonton. All right, over-under still at 5.5. I do like that over 5.5. I do. We had peaks of the season where Edmonton and Vancouver would just go off in terms of goal scoring. And I like that. I really do. I like the over at 5.5 here. Edmonton went from -115 down to -120. Vancouver plus 105 on the money line. So they are a slight dog. I have a feeling that these games, the dogs are going to be in it. I really think so. But I don't have high hopes in Edmonton this year. Their goaltending obviously kind of scares me this season. Offensively, that they're insane. I mean, between Draisaitl and McDavid, I mean, you can't expect anything more than this Edmonton team in terms of scoring. But Vancouver, I'm telling you right now, it's another team that took the limit in the postseason. I mean, I know they lost to Foley, and of course Markstrom left as well to Calgary. But this is Demko time, man. Thatcher Demko's in net, and and then you got Holtby right behind him. So, as much as they lost a great goaltender, they added veterans, and of course, Demko, who had a lights out performance, as we all know, during the postseason. So Edmonton just scares me defensively. The offense is there, but hey, defense, it's tough. So I expect this to be a solid shootout. I really do. I really like Vancouver in this game. I'm going to take the plus 105. Right now, I'm taking Vancouver on the money line at plus 105. Maybe even the plus 1.5. You can even parlay that with Tampa on the money line as well. Hell, even do a three-teamer as we speak. But, I like the over. I'm more confident in the over 5.5. I really do. I'm surprised this hasn't moved to 6 yet. I have a feeling it may move to 6 by next week. So this is why if your book has these lines out, I highly recommend you start tailing these because they're only going to move, and they're only going to move rapidly in the next week. So I like Vancouver here. I do like the over 5.5 in this game between Vancouver and Edmonton. And then last but not least, the matchup of the night, the night session game between the St. Louis Blues and the Colorado Avalanche. This is going to be a main event that we all want to see on opening night. Avalanche opened up at -145. They're now down to -135. Money is heading towards the Blues way at plus 115 now. So I'm digging that. St. Louis is always, again, they are a aggressive team offensively and defensively. And you lose Pietrangelo, but at the end of the day, you add Torrey Krug from Boston, so he fits right in there. And, I like this. I really do like this game here. This could be a very defensive game as much as offensive power Colorado is. Of course, you got McKinnon out there as well. But, this is going to be I feel like this is going to be a low-scoring game. I really do. It did open up at 6. It's down to 5.5. Again, another reason why that you got to grab these lines when you can. I like the under 6. Again, subject to change with these games, like I always mention time and time again. But under 6, I like, and I just see a barn burner sort of game in this matchup here. I really do. Both teams are great defensively, and offensively. I give the advantage to Colorado, but at the end of the day, these teams have great goaltending. I mean, advantage St. Louis for goaltending because we don't know how Colorado goaltending is going to be this season. But again, it all balances out, and that's why I like the under 6. And you know what? If I'm calling this as a dog sort of evening, besides the Flyers and possibly Tampa, I want to go with St. Louis here on the money line at plus 115. I like it. I think this is Colorado's wake-up call for a good evening. Again, I will talk more about this next week and my final plays when it comes down to the 13th of January. So once again, under 6 and a slight lean towards St. Louis on the money line. And I am out of time. I know the show goes by so fast when you're having so much fun. Time flies. But I will be back tomorrow, same time, same place, 12 p.m. in the East, 9 a.m. out in the West. Have a great Wednesday. We're halfway there to the weekend. Be safe, wear a mask. Talk to you guys tomorrow. See ya.